Welcome to Ringside Riffs by Andres Cortes. I got Raw and it was just head scratching. Now, why? Because Gunther was portrayed as this weak person, and we'll go more into that details. Damian Priest is definitely doing a great job. He's definitely doing everything that the WWE wanted him to do. He's risen up to a whole new level, and now we're actually head scratching and asking ourselves, will it be Damian Priest, Gunther, and who will come out on top? That is something that we'll dive more into in another video, but for now we're talking about everything Raw. We're going into how, again, Damage Control might be able to take over and become the tag team champions. It would be better for them to hold on to the tag team champions and for finally Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to break apart, for them to separate, for them to become rivals, and for them to be heading off into the title territory. How else but to face against Liv Morgan? How else but to face against a title chaser, a title contender, and something in between? Now, we also got to see other aspects of Raw and how they were implemented and how they kept understanding. Let me know what your favorite part of Raw is. Definitely for me, it kept on being the reminiscing part of how Damian Priest has just elevated. There was one point where this man was just dominating. He had this kind of fake clothesline. I'm not gonna admit or hate on anybody because I'm a Damian Priest fan, but this clothesline kind of looked weak. Luke Kaiser fell on the ground, and then South of Heaven came up, and boom, it just became a 1, 2, 3. The announcers made it seem like no matter what happens, no matter what, it is a solid finisher, and Luke Kaiser was gonna lose. And I'm not one to say, but Luke Kaiser, I mean, wasn't he portrayed as someone with big talent, with big possibilities? Talking about big possibilities, Pete Dunne going off against in this tangent with R-Truth, with Kofi Kingston, with Xavier Woods. I mean, when is Xavier Woods going to betray Kofi Kingston? This has to be just the end of the New Day. We're all celebrating their tenure and wherever they've accomplished. But I guess it's now time for Xavier Woods to get his own opportunity. I guess it's now time for Xavier Woods to become his own man, for him to become and achieve whatever he is able to do, because Kofi Kingston lost. We all got to see Butch, or whatever he wants to be called, win, and it just keeps being this repeated joke over and over again. It's with R-Truth, it's with Sheamus, it's with everybody in NXT. They're calling this guy Pete Dunne Butch. I get it. They changed your name creatively. Can we just continue? You're the brawling brute. You're the person that can do so much more. You have this creative way of twisting fingers and creating these submissions. You should just be involved already in a title championship. They should put you up against Braun Breaker and find a way for you to just be aggressive and get over the fact that your name sounds like Butch. But if anything, you keep dwelling on this and this seems to be a repeated thing, and let me know. Is it just me that I'm getting tired of it? Or can I just see the fact that I believe Pete Dunne can actually be elevated to something else? But storyline and creatively, he's just being repetitively and stuck in this rut by just calling himself Butch all the time. Pete Dunne should just focus on something else at this point and just really elevate himself. Now, breaking off real quick, I got to see that Braun Breaker Sheamus match on Speed on X. Entertaining. It is what it is with the Speed. I really think they lost this whole thing with giving Andrade the title and not even talking about Speed and how it's just a whole separate thing. I really feel like the commentators should be mentioning Speed just like I am right now. Throwing apart one more time into Pete Dunne, he's done an excellent job, and an excellent job is exactly what the Wyatt Six did. Now, we got to see the Wyatt Six get squashed pretty much for the first time. It shouldn't have been like that, but it was. And there's no opinion here other than the Wyatt Six must continue to get portrayed as some type of evil entity and evil top force that will continue to gain traction, that will continue to be the top, and that will continue to just hot raw and do visions or whatever it was that they never explained about why so many people were appearing to be dead or in some type of other dimension where they were just injured fatally. Either way, let's go into the details details about Gunther. He is losing or not, but he's definitely losing his confidence. He's losing the faith, and we got to see Ludwig lose. We got to see Damian Priest pick up a big win. We got to see these tag team titles defended and kept by Bianca and Jade Cargill. And these are just the questions that I kept asking myself when I was watching Raw. How is it going to be possible for them to continue these storylines into Survivor Series? How is Survivor Series going to be able to continue and grow when we already know the matter of the fact? They were saying it jokingly and making it pretty much all about a where's who, who's what, when they were trying to choose Seth Rollins as the fifth member in this War Games. They're trying to make all these storylines where I'm also scratching my head and asking it if it's Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, the Tongaloas. Who else is the fifth member for them? And why do they keep just getting their sloppy seconds from Sami Zayn to Seth Rollins? Can't Solo Sikoa just choose another big person, another big enforcer? Isn't there a way that the WWE can actually make these claims that we've been seeing all over the rumors about bringing in more Samoan family members, and they haven't fulfilled them? They just keep playing with the tossing up, and Seth Rollins being in this again, this Andrade type Carmelo, because this is what we keep on repetitive seeing. Now it's another match, another rubber match over here where it's gonna be Bronson and Seth freaking Rollins. It's gonna be a way for them to face off against each other. It's gonna be a way for them to go off against one another, and we just think the fact, why is it that Raw seems to be repeating itself? Is it just getting ready to the PLE? Is it just getting for the next year for the Raw Big Impact? Because it's definitely doing a great job in building up these superstars, but the storyline telling right now seems to be beating off by SmackDown. And if anything, we need to continue to implement what these superstars are doing. What is the next big step for Raw in the way that we're headed on to Netflix? Let me know. Thank you for watching.